Hi, welcome to Elaine, Unemployed, episode 6. I got some good news since the last time I reported. I did get a call from the VEC and they told me that I have about 4.25 weeks of unemployment left because I have been doing a little bit of freelance work since the beginning of the year. I have a contract with SunTrust Bank and it's really small stuff, it's really minor, but of course, when you're unemployed and you're getting unemployment compensation, you have to report any work that you do. You're supposed to. So I've reported it, and what's happened is they take the amount that you make during the week before taxes are taken out, and they subtract it from the unemployment payment you would have gotten that week. Seems very unfair, but what happens is that extends your unemployment because you didn't get paid that week, so they still have that money, which they can now pay to you later. So that's why I still have 4.25 weeks left, which I didn't know. I didn't know it worked like that, so that's good. The other piece of information they gave me was that in the 26th week, I will automatically get by snail a form to fill out, which he said is basically a couple of boxes that you check off, and you mail it back in, and you get extended. I don't know how long the extension lasts. I don't know how much you get. I don't know if you get 100% of your unemployment or a part thereof, but I do know that there is money available after my unemployment runs out. So good news, I guess. And today, what I thought I would do is I would read some rejection emails to you. The people who responded the quickly so far that I have applied to is TIAA CREF Financial Services. I applied to them last week on Thursday. They have already responded to me and said, "We have received your application. After careful consideration, we regret that we will not be inviting you to proceed any further in the selection process." We will not be inviting you to proceed any further. Okay, how about this one? This one is from the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. They had a nice job going. They were the first people I'd heard about who wanted me to send in samples of my work that they were not going to return. Now, if you're a graphic designer, you live by your work and you get samples, and it's sometimes hard to get those samples because people say, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll have extra." Print runs are always over. There's always anywhere from 5 to 50 overages when you have a print job. So yeah, people say, "Sure, we'll send you a sample." They forget, and it just seems sort of silly to be bugging people for something like that. So to have to send them in and not get them back, kind of an issue. So I did find some things I could send them. So here's their email to me. "Thank you for the time and effort you put into the application process. We have carefully reviewed your qualifications for the position. Unfortunately, we have identified other candidates whose qualifications more closely match our needs at this time. However, I would encourage you to visit our website, www.richmondfed.org, for other exciting career opportunities." Now, this is nice. This is better than "thanks but no thanks," or "we got your resume, you're not going to hear from us again." It's a very polite thing, but it seems to me they kind of go out of their way to say, "identified other candidates whose qualifications more closely match our needs at this time." So what? You wanted a younger person? You wanted somebody with less experience? Whatever. I think that's nice, but it makes me wonder, what were the qualifications? I met like 80 to 90% of the qualifications, probably 90 in this particular case. So, what's the 10% I don't have? And they didn't even bother talking to me, to see if maybe, some things were missing or there were mitigating circumstances. And I think in part that has to do with the job market today, that people are just not making an effort to, pursue any clients, any applicants whatsoever, if they don't automatically stand out. I always tell this story about a friend of mine who got a job at McDonald's after 2 weeks of driving those people crazy. I mean, he was calling, he was going over, he was stopping by. Even when the person he talked to said, oh, we'll contact you tomorrow, he would be like over there or calling them himself. So, you know, I think it's just the climate and the way things are. I think I have one more here that I can read to you. Ah, yes. This one is from the Hilton. Thank you for your interest in the job at our global headquarters in McLean. Upon thorough review of your qualifications and experience, we will not be considering you further for this position. Now, that doesn't bother me as much as the other one, which kind of hints around that maybe I'm too old, maybe I have too much experience, maybe I'm overqualified, you know, something like that. And again, even though I'm a graphic designer, nobody says we're not considering you because we don't like your work. Let's see if there's any more. Let's see. Okay, thank you for submitting. This was from Genworth. Thank you for submitting your profile resume for the graphic designer position. Your skills and experience will be assessed against the position's requirement. If there is a match, you will be contacted by a member of the staffing team. If you progress in the interview process, you will be requested to make a more formal employment application. You know, I don't know, that kind of bothers me. A more formal employment application? What, you want me to fill something out with a pencil and a piece of paper? Genworth has on their website, they have a place where you have to fill it all in. It's very funky. Most companies that have their own online recruitment system are very funky. The interface is lousy. They're slow. They make it very time consuming for you to fill everything in. Even the ones where you can like upload a resume and they automatically fill in the form. You know, it's crazy. But on the plus side, these people that I've applied to are helping a lot with my unemployment search, because one of the things you have to do when you get unemployment compensation is you have to keep records. And I always like having, you know, another record besides my own to show, yeah, I've looked for a job, you know. Here's confirmation that I've looked for a job. I got an email from the company, blah, blah, you know. So it's not me just making things up and putting them in a spreadsheet. It like really happened. So I'm really glad about that. And those were some people that you can go to. There's other people who will give you confirmation of your application that are very good to apply to if you want some help keeping your records. And I was going to do that today, but I think I'm going to leave that for another time. So I will be out of town next week. A group that I belong to has paid my way to go to a national convention, so I'll be going there. So I may or may not be checking in again this week. I don't know, but feeling better about it. Have 4¼ weeks to go, he told me, and I guess this might be one of them, so maybe 3¼ weeks to go. So that's, you know, it's not happening right away. Whatever happens, and I might get an extension. So feeling very good today. Good luck, all you unemployed people out there, and I'll talk to you another time. Bye.